Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ready to roll? We are backstage at Pointfest. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Barry from Shinedown. What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
How
hello.
are you?
What's going on? How are you?
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Good to
First
see
of
you.
all,
Thanks for being cool with us because I was super, super late. I was very, very late. Some things in rock and roll haven't changed. The singers are usually late.
now listen, if we're going to do it, you are 18 minutes behind. I don't think that that's even late as far as rock stars go. I think that's just about flat.
All right, we'll take that.
We can take that.
Yeah.
I don't know if do we look at ourselves as, the RS, the rock star type?
No.
You don't have to. I appreciate that you don't, but I do, and I can.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it. The reason I am late though is because I needed to take a shower because, quite frankly, I smelled like a farm animal. So I wanted to make sure
Right.
that we were good today.
So see, the 18 minutes late is completely acceptable, and I do appreciate it.
Oh, you should, because I had to be next to him. It was not good.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the record.
Thank you.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. The song Devil has been doing amazing things for the radio station. People loved it as soon as we put it on the air. You know, there is something so great, and it just has that sort of anthemic quality about it. Where did that song fall in the recording of this particular record? Was that one of your first ones that came about?
It came about probably right in the middle. There were a lot of things about and are, in regards to Attention, the new album. We did things a little differently this time. We've had the pleasure of working with a lot of producers, a lot of great engineers, male and female. But it was time for us to do it in-house. So our bass player, Eric Bass, who is quite frankly, way more than a bass player. He produced Attention. He also mixed it. And so the dynamic of everything, too, is that it is a conceptual piece of work, but not in the traditional sense. We call it a story album because everything takes place inside of a room on the record. The goal is to put the audience and the listener into this room to take this journey. And Devil is basically the beginning of this journey because we don't look at it as like the story starts off at rock bottom, but the fact is this individual that is inside the story has come to a place in their life where if they don't confront what's inside of them that could potentially sabotage them, their family, and quite frankly, their actual life in general, they're gonna have to face these demons basically. So Devil starts the beginning of the story of Attention, but the actual song was probably written about middle of the way in the recording process, or the writing process, I should say.
And there's a lot going on here because you recorded at Eric's studio, which was not a commercial studio that normally does this kind of thing, correct?
It is a commercial studio for him. He's done a lot of stuff there. In
Okay.
fact, when we met Eric 11 years ago, when we were doing Sound of Madness, we were writing for Sound of Madness, and we actually went to his studio to write. We didn't know him. He was just a producer at that studio, and we wrote at that studio. And then, things happened and changed, and we said, what about that guy? Because he's extremely smart and a great producer. He was a producer first, came into us as the bass player.
Sure.
So, but he's done other records out of there, and other records have been done out of there even when he's not home. But it's not one of the, it's his place. So he has ownership of it. He built it. And this was actually the last record done there. He's moving the studio, so this was it. This was the, it's bittersweet, but it was a great time.
Well, I watched that documentary, and finding out that he's a big Ben Folds fan,
Yeah.
I am borderline stalker-like when it comes to that man. So
Really?
well, not really, but
That's
just a
okay.
big
Ben Folds
fan.
is great.
Yeah. So that part was very interesting. I wonder about the dynamic while you guys are recording. Now, I have interviewed you guys numerous times over the years. I don't know you though as people, but I would bet you that while you're making a record, it can get intense.
Sure.
Do you guys fight? Do you guys argue? Do you guys? Because I would think everybody's passionate. Passion levels are on high when you're doing this project that you put so much into. Do you guys communicate that way? Do you get after each other that way, or am I misreading that?
What are your
Sometimes.
thoughts on that?
I think sometimes we do. You put a lot of pressure on yourselves, and then Eric took extra pressure on himself, producing and mixing the record. But what's nice about us is we're still a family. We truly love each other and hang out with each other. So if it is a spat, it's more like, a frustration type of thing instead of, you suck and you can't do it right or any of that kind of thing. But having Eric on the other side, having Eric produce this record, he he knows us so well, he was able to pull different things out of us. He knows our strengths and weaknesses. So if he knew he was going to push you in a direction that might be not in your comfort zone for a song, he knew how to kind of manipulate you that way to get it out of you.
That's fantastic.
Because I think any producer with any band is also a psychiatrist in a way, because you're dealing with very fragile egos. We're all artists. And so you really have to be able to get inside somebody's head and know how far you can push them without pushing them over the edge.
I have to be very, very frank about it, though. The fact of the matter is Eric had a really good way of looking at this process and this album. We would rather go crazy making it ourselves rather than watch someone go crazy trying to make it.
Yeah.
Because the dynamic of us and the four of us, there wasn't a day that Eric walked in, and I spent 179 days with him last year. And we all four of us were so completely together on what we were doing and the statement we were making and why this record is so necessary. We weren't desensitized to it. And a lot of this album was inspired by the fan base all over the world. The one thing about Eric was, too, is when he went into the studio every single day, he never questioned himself. And there was never any kind of hesitation with him. He didn't walk around going, I don't know what we should do. Or, what do you think? There was never, it wasn't a guessing game with him. This was very, very serious. And it was also very instrumental, no pun intended, to the next phase and the next chapter of Shinedown's career. There was, quite frankly, nobody else that could have done it but him.
Wow. And this is album number 6. And so Devil is now your 13th number 1 over those 6 records. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And I know you don't want to look at that and bask in that, and I understand that, but that is friggin' impressive, gentlemen.
It's a big honor, but we're always looking forward. Always looking forward, trying to outdo what we've done in the past, and we're very lucky and blessed to still be here and be relevant and still have new fans coming along and younger fans. We don't take that for granted, but we're already thinking ahead of what's next, not necessarily next record, but next singles, and what we're going to do to make our band grow even more internationally, globally, all over the world, because we want to have the trajectory of, say, an Aerosmith or U2, where you just don't go away.
Right.
You reinvent yourselves a little bit, you stay true to who you are, but the four of us are on a mission to do this for our whole life.
And another side of that also is just, we, when we're writing an album and we're in the middle of the process, I have each guy has a very specific thing that they do, and each guy can also do a lot of things very, very well. But it's the humility of knowing when to ask for help. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, like for me, when I'm writing the lyrics, because I'm the main lyricist in the band, but on this album I got a lot of help from Barry and from Zach and from Eric, because they would just push me in different directions. But I call it staring down the beast, and the beast is a white piece of paper, and you got to figure out what you want to create. And the other side of that, too, is we used to be really hard on ourselves about don't get comfortable, don't rest, don't take a moment at least to say good job to each other. It used to just be like, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You will burn yourself out.
Right.
And I think that we've all looked at everything that is Shinedown as there's a lot of different mountains. And if you were at the base of the mountain and you looked up at it and you said to yourself, there's no possible way I can ever get to the top of this on my own, that might be true. But if we all do it together, then there's not any mountain that we can't conquer.
It just seems like there is an amazing amount of positive communication that happens.
There's just a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, that it as well.
And we're all in a very good, happy, healthy place with each other. We've kind of grown up a little bit and stopped doing the dumb things that we have done in the past. So we're in a good space, and we are Shinedown. I would never be in another band with anybody else. This is what I do, and it's the feeling's the same for everybody else. This is what we do. This is who we are, and these are the people we love being around.
Well, we are so thankful to have you guys here today.
By the way, we got to say thank you so much to this station and just everything that this city and the Point means to the band. You have been there from Jump Street, man, from very, very,
very early on,
like 2003, going all the way back to the first record. That never goes unnoticed, man, and it is always very, very much 6 albums in appreciated that you guys and girls have been very supportive of us, and you've always been very, very real. And we wouldn't just thank you very much for allowing us to be ourselves, man. It means a lot.
Listen, St. Louis loves rock and roll, and you're an amazing rock and roll band.
Well, thank you.
So
we think
it's,
St. Louis is awesome and amazing too.
Well, this is just a love fest, everybody.
All the
Guys,
love.
thank you so very much again.
you.
Thank
Attention,
you.
Attention is out now. Shinedown. We appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.